Hey there, and welcome to Nets 2012 Hello Brooklyn. I'm Sarah Kustok. Throughout the next hour, we'll recap the events of a franchise-defining offseason and look ahead to one of the most highly anticipated seasons in recent NBA history. For the players and coaches alike, the excitement is palpable as they embrace the opportunity to win over a new fan base and start to write a new chapter in the franchise's history.
The buzz has just gotten louder every day, more excited every day, and I've been more anxious every day. I really just can't wait for opening night, and the whole environment, the energy is going to be something else entirely.
For me in July, when I got traded here, I was pretty excited. And now that I've been here for, at least a month, it's been everything I pretty much expected, but probably a little more. The fans have been really excited about this, man, and they're so passionate, and it just makes you want to work even harder to get started.
Brooklyn has such great tradition. I got a chance to tour the Barclays Center. It's obviously a great place, a great project. Brooklyn, they go hard, you know that. I'm from Atlanta. You heard about Brooklyn down in Atlanta and how hard they go. So I think they'll appreciate if we just go hard and play hard.
I mean, people in Seattle are asking how you get Brooklyn Nets gear. Everybody's talking about it. You can't walk down a street in New York. You can't go to a restaurant. You can't do anything without people talking about the team, talking about the new colors. It's going to be such a change, and it's going to be really good for the city.
You can tell definitely people are excited. Just in Manhattan and Brooklyn, everywhere I go, people are stopping me, talking about, they're ready for these and they're excited about the move and excited I stayed.
It gives us a different energy, a different vibe, something we can build off of, something that we can feed into, hopefully open up more of a home court advantage. But, I think it's going to be good for us, for the organization, for the city of Brooklyn.
Like everybody says, it's got that cool vibe to it, and it's so different from being in Manhattan, when you cross the bridge and go over there. Like I said, you just see kind of just cool people live in Brooklyn, so hopefully I'll be considered cool when I go over there.
Brooklyn, they seem so excited. It don't get no better than playing the mecca of basketball. To actually be in New York and knowing that I'm a part of an organization that going in the right direction to win, you can't beat that. So we're looking to make a lot of history here.
It's going to be ridiculous. I think the fans are just going to be nuts. Since they lost the Dodgers, I know they've been itching to get a team back there. Now that we have a brand new facility and we're going there with a very good team, I think the fans over there are going to be really excited. And I think home court, is going to be an advantage to us because the fans are really going to be into it.
A new city, a new arena, a new team. I think it's a fresh start for some of these guys that kind of struggled and labored over the last couple of years with the Nets. So it should be welcoming to see a fresh group of guys that's ready, that's committed to working hard, and hopefully we put a product on the floor that the fans will be proud of.
It'll feel like a lot of work kind of came together for where we're at. So we've been shooting to prepare our team and be a playoff team, and I think that's where we're going to be at.
Brooklyn was waiting with open arms, but it was Billy King's job to deliver a team they could embrace. To do that, he knew he'd have to assemble enough talent to entice franchise cornerstone Deron Williams to come along for the ride.
I knew Deron wanted veterans. He wanted to have some guys around him that understood the game like he did, that had been in the league and had the experience. And so we made the trade for Gerald because I figured whatever player we got at number 6 or number 5, wasn't going to be a player that was going to excite Deron. Re-signing Gerald was a priority because of the fact that what he brings defensively, because I think in his league, you got to have somebody that can not stop guys, but slow down the LeBrons, the Carmelo Anthonys, guys that like that challenge.
Re-signing Gerald Wallace, better known as Crash, was the first step. But King had more work to do, starting with the man he envisioned playing alongside Williams in the backcourt.
I felt he was the best 2-guard available via free agency or trade. And by adding him, if Deron didn't stay, having him and Gerald Wallace and Brooke, we can get into the point guard, maybe not the caliber of Deron, but a good one to make us a good team. And so we got Gerald, traded for Joe, and then it was, try to get the Reggie Evans, try to get the Mirza Televic, throughout all this, we met with Darren on July 2nd. I can present him, here's who you're going to play with.
With a star signed up to a long-term deal, King was free to attack free agency to fill in the holes.
He was a big piece, but once he said, I'm staying, it really allowed me talking to free agents or trying to acquire other players via trade. That question of, is Darren Sam was gone.
The next step was making a commitment to a big man in his own locker room.
I think he's a guy that not only will score basketball, but I think he'll be a better shot blocker. I think a better rebounder. I think he'll be able to showcase his complete game because they've got to pick their poison. We got a guy that can score down low, so we can give him the ball. But then also, he's got to realize that as double teams come, he can rely on his teammates, so this burden of scoring is not all on him.
A GM's work is never done, but this offseason, King has been able to see the fruits of his labor and the excitement and dedication of his players.
Being in Brooklyn, having the Barclays Center, it's something I think they're excited about. They're excited about playing the first game. They're representing Brooklyn. And to me, it's a great feeling because of the fact that they see their excitement, see that they're here this early and preparing for the season. When guys are willing to put the extra time in and extra effort, they believe that there's something special. When guys don't come to town earlier, don't put the time in and aren't willing to work, that's going to set the tone for how your season's going to be because they don't believe that they can win.
Coming up, we talk with Nets head coach Avery Johnson as he breaks down his revamped roster and chat with six-time All-Star Joe Johnson. Welcome back. With the pieces assembled, the challenge shifts to Brooklyn Nets head coach Avery Johnson to mold this team into a contender. Handicapped by injuries and a lack of talent in his first two seasons at the helm, he entered training camp with the kind of roster he's thrilled to work with.
Our philosophy defensively and offensively is not broken. We just felt that our talent pool could not sustain on a high level and sometimes couldn't even get started what we wanted to execute on both ends of the floor. Now we have 5 players that are in the top 15 or 15 at their position. That says a lot. So now that we have that type of talent, offensively, we can play a lot quicker. We like to score 100 points or more. We have a team now that's capable can do that because we can shoot, we can pass, we can dribble, we can rebound, we can execute, we know how to replace. We have guys that can get their shot off under 5 seconds, which is another big part. Defensively, we're much more physical. We're bigger, we're stronger, we can switch, we can trap, we can play our men straight up if we want to. So there's a lot more we can do defensively.
Avery Johnson knows that his job is to prepare his team for the rigors of a grueling 82-game season.
I think for us, we got to get into the regular season and go through some experiences together. You know, we got to be down by 10 on the road and come back and win. We got to win some close games. We got to see how we handle adversity, you know, if and when we lose a game and how we come back. And we got to be a team that can't lose 2 games in a row. That's what really good teams do. And I think once we do that, I'll have a little bit more of an idea of how long that chemistry and that gelling is going to take for our team.
After 2 years spent chasing the best players in the Atlantic Division, he's looking forward to the matchup problems his team will create, starting with his all-star backcourt.
I think we stack up really well. You know, for us, we feel, you know, our backcourt is a backcourt now that's going to cause our opposing coaches to lose sleep. For me, you know, I lose sleep all the time when you have to deal with guys like a Paul Pierce or a Rondo or a Drew Holiday or, you know, now Bynum. But I think we have a competitive edge in terms of, you know, having Joe Johnson and Darren Williams out there with their size. They're very competitive on both ends of the floor. They draw double teams. And now adding Brook back into the mix, especially if we get the Brook that played against the Mavericks last year, which was one of his, outstanding games. And now, Humphries is back, and he's consistently improving. Gerald Wallace, when Gerald was with us last year, we had a stretch of 16 games where we were, a game or two right below 500, even with the team we had last year, because Gerald made that much of a difference. So we think we match up pretty good with all of those teams.
The talent is there, but it'll be up to Johnson and his team to make their impression on the rest of the league on the hardwood.
I think for us, going into every game, whether we're playing in LA, playing in Boston, obviously we got a tremendous home court advantage. Now we got to have the thought that we're not really beatable. We can beat anybody. And that's what training camp is about. We got to get that confidence, and we got to get that type of a swagger. And it's not going to come with talking about it. You got to go out on the court and prove it.
Thanks to a blockbuster trade that brought Joe Johnson from Atlanta, the Nets now boast one of the top backcourts in the league. The shooting guard is stoked about the opportunity to play alongside Deron Williams. And at 6'7", 240 pounds, the duo will create matchup nightmares for opponents while taking pressure off one another.
Bill looking to go to work. Floater, good! Joe Johnson is starting to feel it now.
When a guy's, dominated you with an opposing team, and now he comes on your team, that makes me a happy person.
Johnson to step back three. Wow, that's clutch. Are you serious?
Joe's big, he's strong, he can play multiple positions.
Wow. This guy's got to go in here. Again, on the attack, get the ball into the paint.
And we're going to help Joe because we think there's still a part of Joe's game where he can improve and go to that next level. He's not a finished product yet.
Always a mismatch problem, the Nets organization couldn't be happier to have Joe Johnson on their side, with the shooting guard's ability to use his size to his advantage.
I just try not to be one-dimensional. I try to be a pretty good catch and shoot, a guy who can post up, make plays. So, I just try to do whatever it takes, man, to win. And, being my size at the two guard obviously is an advantage, and I just try to use it.
When Johnson first heard about being traded to the Nets, he wasn't so sure about the type of team he'd be joining.
When I got traded here and talking to Darren, I still didn't know if he was coming back or not. So I was like, I asked him what he was going to do. He had mixed feelings. He didn't really know, which was understandable because he's from Dallas. So, I just kept my fingers crossed, man, and was glad that he made the decision to come back.
Once the dust settled, any uncertainty went away for Johnson, who can't wait to make a fresh start and feed off of Brooklyn's energy.
New York is definitely the mecca of basketball. So, to be here, man, under the bright lights, it's definitely a fresh start for me. I'm very excited. I'm just, kind of getting rid of the past, moving forward with the present. And, I think it's going to be an exciting year for everybody. In practice, man, it's been going pretty good. We've been moving the basketball against some great shots, and we want to get off to a great start. And, obviously we got the Knicks, first here at home, so we want to open up, man, take care of our home court. So we're looking forward to the challenge.
Up next, the Nets' new home, Barclays Center, is unveiled. Don't go anywhere.